Welcome to the Manifest with Ease podcast. I'm Vanessa Jaden, certified mindset and manifestation coach, and I'm here to help you manifest your dream life effortlessly. This podcast is all about making manifestation simple and fun. Each week, I'll share powerful tips and aligned strategies to help you attract abundance, success, and joy into your life. Get ready to unlock your magic and step into the life you've always dreamed of. No hustle required. Let's dive into today's episode of Manifest with Ease. Have you ever wondered how manifestation actually works? Well, it's a mix of science and magic. And in today's episode, I'm going to break it all down and share simple steps so that you can start manifesting right away. You're going to understand how your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions actually create your reality, and how you can use them to your advantage. You know what? You've actually been doing this your whole life without even realizing it. Okay, so let's start with the big question. What is manifestation? Manifestation is simply the process of turning a thought, an idea, or a desire into your physical reality. You've heard the saying that says thoughts create things, right? Well, it's about creating the life that you want, using a mix of your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. If you think of it like planting a seed, you decide what you want to grow, where you want it to grow, and then you nurture it and you watch it bloom. So, a very important thing over here that you need to take note of is that you need to actually make sure that you're planting the right seed. I mean, if you want an oak tree in your back garden and you plant an apple seed, you ain't getting no oak tree. But here's the thing, your life right now is actually the garden of seeds that you've been planting up until now. Some have been intentional, and perhaps I'd say most of them haven't. The key is learning to plant with purpose. If you want to know more about what manifestation actually is and the 5 core steps of manifestation, then I invite you to go back and listen to episode 1 and 2 if you haven't yet. Here's where it's going to get a little bit geeky but also exciting, and I'm going to break this down so that it's super simple to understand. So let's look at your Reticular Activating System, also known as RAS. So this tiny but very mighty part of your brain acts like a filter, and it decides what's important for you to notice. Have you ever thought about buying a car, right? Let's say you want this nice black car in a specific model, specific brand, and you didn't see them, they weren't very popular, but then once you make the decision to buy the car, or once you've bought the actual car, you see that exact car everywhere. Well, that's your RAS at work. When you set clear goals and desires, your RAS helps you to spot opportunities and to make them happen. Let's look at the fascinating connection between your Reticular Activating System, your brain's personal filter, and something called deletion, distortion, and generalization. Now, these are concepts from NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and here's the wild part. Every second, your brain is bombarded with about 11 million bits of information from your environment. But your conscious mind can only handle about 50 bits per second. That's roughly the size of a single text message. Now, your RAS steps in like a bouncer at the door of your brain, deciding what gets through based on what you find important, or what you've decided is important for you. Deletion, distortion, and generalization are the tools that it uses to manage that overwhelming flood of data. Deletion happens when your RAS filters out anything irrelevant to your goals or your focus. That's why you can tune out the background noise in a cafe, but immediately notice someone saying your name. Now, distortion works hand in hand with your beliefs and your assumptions. You see, your RAS is going to highlight information that aligns with what you already believe. So if you think that you're terrible at doing interviews, your RAS will make you notice every tiny awkward moment in that interview, even if the rest of it was great. Now, generalization is your brain's shortcut to simplify patterns. So if you think about when you were a kid, Maybe the scary dog barked at you. Your RAS might generalize that all dogs are scary, reinforcing that belief by focusing on barking dogs while ignoring the friendly ones. These processes shape how you see the world. But here's the magic. You can reprogram your RAS by shifting your focus and your beliefs. When you train your mind to tune into opportunities, gratitude, and positive outcomes, your RAS will filter the world to match. It's like tuning your brain into a magnet for the things you want. Then there's neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. Every thought you have creates a pathway in your brain. You can think of this like a path in the forest. The more you think something, the stronger that path becomes. If you want to make changes, like in the forest, you will need to start walking a different path. So in the beginning, this might not be easy, but the more you think those thoughts, the deeper the pathways get and the easier this becomes. Think about doing mirror work. The first time you stand in front of that mirror and look at yourself and you say, "You are awesome," you might get a lot of resistance or even feedback from negative Nancy. She might be there saying, "No, you're not," and then go on to remind you of a number of reasons why. But when you deal with Nancy, or whoever you want to call her, and tell her to shut up, and then you give her one reason why you are actually awesome, and I know you could find one reason no matter how much negative thoughts you have about yourself, well, eventually she'll just give up, and before you know it, you'll have created a new positive neural pathway. Neuroplasticity and NLP share a natural connection because both of them focus on changing thought patterns to reshape your brain and your behavior. So we now know that neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to rewire itself. Every time you think a thought, you're creating or strengthening a neural pathway in your brain. NLP, on the other hand, is like giving you the actual map of all those paths. And that's going to help you identify the unhelpful paths you've been walking, like negative beliefs or limiting thought patterns, and it's going to guide you to create new empowering paths instead. Think about it like this. If you've been stuck in a belief like "I'll never succeed," NLP can help you reframe that into something like "I'm learning and growing towards success." So this connection between NLP and neuroplasticity is why tools like affirmations, visualizations, and anchoring can be so powerful. These aren't just mind tricks, they're literally rewiring your brain for success, happiness, and the life you want to create. Now let's talk about the woo-woo side, or as I like to call it, the magic. Everything in the universe is energy, including you, and energy vibrates. When you're aligned with what you want, you send out a matching frequency. So if you think about it, it's like a radio that's tuning into the perfect station. If you're stuck on the station of doubt or fear, you're not going to hear the music of your dreams. But when you shift your energy to gratitude, joy, and abundance, you're basically shouting into the universe, "I'm ready, bring it on." Here's where tools from NLP can take this magic to the next level. NLP offers techniques that help you shift your energy and rewire your mind for success. So let's look at a few of these. Visualization. Think of visualization as daydreaming with a purpose. When you vividly imagine yourself achieving your goal, using all of your senses, not just dreaming, you're actually training your brain. Your mind starts to believe it's already happening, which raises your vibration to match that reality. In the 1950s at the University of Chicago, Dr. Biasiotto, and I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, so please forgive me if I've messed that up completely. Well, he conducted this free throw experiment on how effective visualization could be in enhancing performance, especially for basketball players. So what they did was they split the players into 3 groups. And then over a course of the month, The first group was told to spend an hour a day practicing free throws. The second group was told to just visualize themselves making free throws every day. And the third group was told to do nothing. Now listen to these results. Okay, the third group saw no improvement. However, the second group shot 23% better, and the first group shot 24% better. So for the guys who were actually throwing the hoops, it was only 1% better than those that were using their imagination to visualize them actually throwing the hoops. Now let's look at anchoring. This is a powerful way to attach a positive emotion to a physical gesture or trigger. So this happens at a subconscious level, and it's not always planned. It's like sometimes you can smell a certain perfume and immediately your thoughts are drawn towards a certain person. Or you might hear a song and then before you know it, you're off down memory lane. Or when you taste something. For me, it's oven-cooked chicken. When I get the smell of that oven-cooked chicken and the taste, it always reminds me of Sunday lunches at my grandfather's house. So through anchoring techniques, we can release anchors that are no longer serving us, as well as intentionally create new ones that will propel you towards your desires. Another NLP technique, and one of my favorite techniques, is timeline techniques. So this is about connecting with your past, your present, and your future to create alignment. Imagine you could float above your timeline and looking at key moments in your life from a higher perspective. From this point, you can let go of limiting beliefs tied to past experiences or plant empowering goals into your future. This process is going to help you shift your energy to align with what you're creating, clearing a path for your desires to manifest. Now, I'll go into this a lot more on another episode. So these tools aren't just techniques, they're keys to aligning your mind and actions with the life that you actually want. Think of it as tuning forks for your vibration, helping you find and stay on the station that plays your dream life on repeat. Here are 3 things that you can do this week to kickstart your manifesting power. Number 1, set a micro goal. Choose one small thing you want to manifest this week. Maybe it's a free coffee or a kind compliment, whatever it is. Write it down, be intentional about it, and look for it. Number 2, gratitude journal. Every day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Gratitude raises your vibration like nothing else. And then, do regular energy check-ins. Pay attention to how you feel. It's so easy for us to get stuck on autopilot. So a good way to do this is you can set a timer for every hour on your phone. When it goes off, just do a little check-in. How are you feeling? If you're off, do something that's going to lift you up. Even if it's just a quick little dance, a laugh, or going and taking a walk outside. Maybe it's just changing your environment a little bit. So that's it for today. Remember that manifestation isn't about magic wands or wishful thinking. It's about aligning your energy, focusing your mind, and taking inspired action. If you've enjoyed this episode, I hope that you'll share it with a friend who needs a little bit of manifesting magic and a bit of science. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Until then, embody, believe, and manifest your dreams.